and the rest is absolutely free. You also get 50 megabytes of data to browse for free. Just dial star 315 hash to subscribe to MTN Free After 1 now and stay connected because we're good together. Terms and conditions apply. MTN, that's everywhere you go. And shouts to all our friends out there at MTN, to you Jermaine, Chris, Josephine, Big Boss Noel, how you doing, sir? Now, if you want to be refreshed, High Five Choco Malt is the best bet for you. First malt drink with a chocolate flavor to make you break loose. High Five Choco refreshes you most when needed. It's got a perfect blend of chocolate and malt. And it comes in 3 unique flavors and going for just 3 Ghana cedis. It is the new normal. Best served chilled. It's available in all supermarkets and shops near you. It's another quality product from Casapreco Company Limited, which is ISO certified. If you want to buy in bulk, please dial 0262 351 251 or 0272 133373. And if you're listening to us and driving, please ensure you got both your hands on the wheel. You're not listening with your hands. Just let your ears do the listening. Keep your eyes on the road. Avoid all distractions. Be visible. At night, in hazy conditions, even when it gets raining, please ensure you got your lights on. That's how you ensure your safe arrival. Drive Safe campaign is proudly brought to you by Joy News and Multimedia Group. Support from Logistics Movers who help you relocate, and Toyota Ghana Limited. Toyota, that's superior quality. And if you're planning to move anytime soon, safest, hassle-free, and the best and most secure way of relocating or transporting your goods is with Logistics Movers. They've got a professional and cost-effective way of ensuring that your movement is smooth. From household to office items, you name it, anywhere within Accra or anywhere on this planet. Logistics Movers have what it takes to put a smile on your face anytime. That's their hallmark. Just contact Logistics Movers on 050 127 7363 or 0302 918349. Email them at info@logisticsmovers.com or visit www.logisticsmovers.com. Logistics Movers, we help you relocate.
It's Showbiz A to Z.
So our special guest is seated, and we're just about to start the conversation. We also have our panel in the house. We've got a full house today. Let me start by welcoming the panel, and then we'll get to our special guest for the afternoon. Uncle Ken.
Yes, George.
Good afternoon. How are
Good
you
afternoon.
doing?
I'm very fine. Thank
So,
you.
so which team are you supporting tonight?
Ask me about my team.
But your team is not
I
playing
qualified
anything.
for the Champions League.
Yes, so did we.
Yeah. I
So-
qualified for the Champions League.
Congratulations.
when
Against all odds.
None of you gave us a chance.
No. Even
So
you
I am
didn't give
proud
yourself
of
a chance.
myself. That's very true.
Yeah, that's very true.
Personally,
You
I
didn't believe.
George, we
I
need, to
mean,
buy,
it was
we need
good.
to buy a Liverpool branded cake for Uncle Ken.
I swear.
For this celebration.
Yeah, it's very important. we
So I'm
we seriously
fine.
need
I'm very
to.
fine. But I made the best team win tonight.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
That's
okay.
important.
You will support Chelsea again.
No, because of you.
But this one, this 2 minutes, then we change their
You
mind.
came to do a deal with me, but I've gone back home.
I didn't deliver on my promise.
Let me welcome Mr. Jesse Amweje, CEO of IFIBA Consult, to the house. Jesse, how are you doing?
Fantastic, my brother.
You disappeared last week.
Yes, I like I said earlier on before the show started, there were some important things that are taking my attention, so forgive me. I will try and make it up.
Yeah, you're a church man.
You disappeared from the show and you stood me up on side. You made me pack at Kaswa.
He was in church.
Forgive me.
And
I
how
had-
is he going to make it up?
I don't. Maybe
There are
cash.
three
Me, I
things
don't
that
mind
George
cash.
likes, and I would deliver on the second one.
Oh, so not for the show.
On the
but for
second
George.
one.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, he's the one complaining. Okay.
I'm sure there are a lot of people that will be interested in these three
In the
things.
second one,
No, the three things.
there's just one thing involved. There's a German watch involved, and you don't want to know.
Sadiq, how you doing?
I'm good, George.
We give glory. How's Ajia Power?
Oh, everybody's
Yeah, Ajia Power gave me some shouts during the week. She said she was listening to the Late Night Express. Yeah, I can imagine what happened when she got home.
Well, I was asleep by then, so I can't be cited for how she felt on that night.
When you asked him how has he been,
Yeah.
he's been at his mischief best.
Oh,
This
definitely.
week.
We've been monitoring on social
I
media.
hope so.
As for Sadiq, unless prayers, so.
We have a segment on the show called Private Segment, right? After the show, 10 minutes after, myself and Uncle Ken.
Yes. Uncle Ken.
Yes.
I want to give you the role of welcoming our special guest to the
Oh.
studio this afternoon. On our behalf.
Jesus Christ.
Yes. On our behalf.
You really do,
Yes.
and
yes.
I'm honored
Yes.
to be given this.
I knew you would be.
I'm confused.
Oh,
I
don't
don't
be.
know how to start with. Jesus Christ, this has taken me by surprise.
Yes.
But it's good.
I can tell you how to start.
Yes, please.
Remind the three of us that we were nowhere when you started.
Emphasize on the fact that even when you started way before.
Way
I was
before,
calling
them
them.
days.
Them
Yes,
days.
Them days.
Yes.
Exactly.
Digital
I
days.
tell you what.
Yeah.
Just give me 3 minutes to do
You
this.
have the time. Take your time.
Thank
Take
you.
your time.
I didn't know Kweku from anywhere. But I knew Kweku's father. And Kweku's father, Lord have mercy, he was the moderator of the Presbyterian Church of Ghana. And he was adored by everybody in the church, to the extent that he is the only moderator who got 3 consecutive terms
Wow.
as moderator in the Presbyterian Church of Ghana. Osofo Sintim Misa, Sana ne friend. Osofo Sintim Misa. And when you met Osofo Sintim Misa, you know, back in those days, I keep telling you people, in those days, when you met a reverend minister,
The aura was there.
oh, thank you.
Are you trying to say it's different these days?
I'm not going there.
Watered down ministries.
Obinimic era.
I'm not going there, George.
Yeah.
And this man, and it so happened that my cousin married from Kweku's family.
Oh, okay.
My first cousin, my mother's elder brother's daughter, married from Kweku's family.
Interesting.
And I knew Kweku's elder brother, the late Danso Misa. He
Interesting.
used to work at the Bank of Ghana.
Right.
And he married my cousin. And you know who that my cousin bore?
No.
Yeah, you'll be shocked. My cousin bore Nana Ansakwao the fourth.
Oh, interesting. What an interesting connection.
Yes, Nana Ansakwao's mother is my direct first cousin.
Interesting.
My direct first cousin. I mean, a father and my mother, same father.
Very interesting.
So when Kweku eventually came to Ghana, I heard his name in the media space, okay? And it was like, who's this? And then I realized that, oh yeah, it was
The moderator's son.
the moderator's son. But I had never known Kweku from infancy,
Yeah.
you know, yeah. So I was very interested in his activities. I was at Groove FM at the time. I left Groove FM to Joy FM. And then Kweku went to Vibe FM. And that's where I really got to understand Kweku or get to know Kweku. He went on Vibe FM for a program. Kweku, what was the program's name? Talk Shop.
Yeah.
And it became the talk of the town, that program, back in the day. But you know something that happened? When I was at Groove FM, I was doing my jazz show. And at that time on Groove FM, the show was entitled A Little Touch of Jazz. Okay? And then Kweku started Talk Shop. And then somebody calls me and says, Uncle Ken, do you have anything to do with Talk Shop? I said, no, I don't. Why? He said, but the person doing the show is playing the same sick tune as your Jazz on Joy sick tune.
Interesting.
Look on my sick tune, on my...
I think that should be, let's see if I can
and
find that
see
one. It should be
J.O.G.
this one.
Jazz on Joy sick tune. You know, so when, and he used it as a sick tune for Talk Shop. And I didn't say anything, I just felt very good because the program was hot, very hot. And the personality behind the program was something else.
Interesting.
So I have been in the background where Kweku is. You know, he's invited me on his show once.
Yeah.
We went to discuss caning a child.
Yes.
I remember that thing. You know, being
Yeah.
raised from a Presbyterian family myself and that kind of thing. So he's somebody I've revered all my life. And I'm very happy he's here this evening. Kweku, welcome to Joy FM.
Thank you.
That's a more,
It was a well-written 3 minutes.
Yes.
You know,
The best 3 minutes on the show.
Yes.
So far.
I didn't know I was going to do that.
Yes. I mean, KSM is a legend. We all know that. But Uncle Ken said something. I didn't know him till I think you said when he came to Ghana. So that is where I want us to situate or start our conversation from. So let us take to the period before you came to Ghana. Who was KSM?
before I came to Ghana,
Yes.
KSM has always been, how do I call it? An ordinary Ghanaian with extraordinary passion. And I think that's the way I describe myself all the time, you know. So I had strong passion, and even while I was away in Ghana, somewhere in my heart, I knew that Ghana is where I belong, and that definitely I'll be returning to Ghana sometime. So before I came to Ghana, it was just a passionate Ghanaian who was in the diaspora, you know, watching events in Ghana and just hoping that one day I have a chance to contribute something to Ghana. So that was KSM before I came to Ghana.
Okay. Let me go still around that period. Are you somebody were you born in Ghana and you left, or were you born somewhere and you came? What was the story?
I was born in Kumasi, man. I was born in Kumasi.
Okay.
At that time, my father was a chaplain for Prempeh College.
Oh, interesting.
And also one of the house-masters, and was teaching English and something. So that's when I was born, in
Okay.
Kumasi. Actually, specifically in Swami.
Swami, okay.
Yes.
Typical.
So I grew up in Kumasi.
Okay.
And from, at the time, when I was young, they transferred my father to the KNUST. So he was a chaplain there and a lecturer there too. So of course, we moved from Prempeh to KNUST. And so that's where I did my primary school. KNUST Primary School. That's where I did my primary school. And of course, the common entrance. And after that, I think after common entrance, then I went to pre-sec. And so for all those happy Awi people, pre-sec, I did my first year in pre-sec. And then went back to Kumasi, and I started back in the day Form 2 secondary school from Prempeh College.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So that's where I did all my secondary school.
Interesting.
Did my O-level back in the day. We had the O-level and the A-level. And then after my A-level, I went to NAFTI. I was the pioneer. We were the pioneers of NAFTI.
Interesting.
We started NAFTI.
Wow.
Yeah, so I did NAFTI for Oh, I think just a term or a year, I'm not too sure. And then I went to the US. I didn't mind. I graduate at the school called Trinity College, but I wasn't a seminary.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't mind. I graduate. And
Yeah.
then from there, I went to NYU to do my master's in fine arts.
Interesting.
And then back in Ghana. So that's a quick,
So how long were you out of Ghana for?
about 20 years.
20 years. Why don't you have an accent? I mean,
Why
people,
don't I have an accent?
people go 2 years. You know what I'm talking about? I mean, why don't you have an accent? 20 years. I mean, there should be, at least slang kakrampwe.
Miss Lagagra.
Hey, 20 years.
No, it's very funny, but sometimes, Michelle, when I'm in the company of some of my American friends, slang, their tongue comes. You know? But then there's something like this, they know.
You are with us. Interesting. So, why did you come back? People feel that when they leave, they are out there. There's a lot of opportunity. I mean, they call it the country of dreams, United States of America. Everybody wants to be there. So, 20 years, you've gone to New York State University. That's it, right? NYU?
NYU, yeah.
Exactly. You've been there and all those things. Naturally, a lot of doors should open. You probably could have been in Hollywood by now. Why did you come back to Ghana?
Doors did open. Honestly, I did some major television productions there. I worked with some very, very fantastic producers, international repute. And doors actually did open. I think one of the things that I'm so happy to boast about is that I was the first African to have done an original one-man play off Broadway.
Wow.
Yeah. That's so many years ago. I don't know if I'm still the first African. Back in the day, I was, And so some doors did open. And some doors closed as well, But it got to the point, to cut the whole story short, it got to the point where I was just, the options were, you'll just keep staying, keep plugging, or you have a whole great experience behind you. And Ghana is now also finding its feet in many, many areas. So why don't you go home and contribute to whatever you can to the development of Ghana? But the major reason why I came was because I had done a film in the US, and somebody told me, Charlie, Ghana films, Charlie, Ghana is booming. The industry, Charlie, stop. What are you doing here? So I confidently did a film, and I came to Ghana. So when I came to Ghana, all I had was my film to show.
Interesting.
And that was going to jumpstart my career in Ghana in filmmaking. So that's why I came.
That brings us home. And when you came, your expectations, were they met?
No. Number one, the free advice I'll give to everybody that don't go on what people are saying. Do some more due diligence. Because what I heard about the industry and everything was coming from somebody who is totally clueless about the industry. So the fact of the matter was that the person was in no position to give me an accurate judgment of what the industry was. But hey, you said,
So tell, what happened when you came? I mean, hoping to screen your movies in big theaters and all those things, and what happened?
It started very well, though, because my movie back in the day,
Yeah.
I don't know whether Ken remembers, going way back then, it was the first, that time the movies, the theaters were...
Double?
No, Double was when I came,
when
after
you
I
came,
came.
okay.
That was the Wages of Sin.
Yeah.
Okay.
Before Double.
Yeah, before Double.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. And it was okay, it was okay, but it did quite well, but it didn't give me the satisfaction that I was looking for.
So you were a little disappointed.
Very.
Why didn't you go back?
Why did I?
Why didn't you go back?
To the US?
Yes.
I came with a one-way ticket, and I promised myself, whatever happens, it must work.
Wow.
So people come, when people are leaving to come to Ghana, most of them have, at least they have their return, mandatory return. Well, maybe because at that time I could only afford my one way. Look right there, yeah?
Can't wait free.
Look right there, yeah? But I had to bluff her, Charlie, me, call me, maybe,
That's a good one.
Very
So I came with
interesting.
my one-way ticket, and It had to work, man. Going back was not an option. It wasn't an option. It had to work.
And did it work?
It worked with a lot of, I had to juggle things around, Like Ken was talking about my radio show.
Yes.
I had never done radio in my life. Never. But I was addicted to talk radio in New York. And there was one particular station I was listening to, WLIB, all the time. And there were two hosts that I wouldn't miss their shows in my car. Wherever I was going, I was glued to them. And I just loved it. And somehow, because I loved the show so much, I just believed that actually I can do a talk show. So when I came to Ghana and the movie didn't quite work out like I was expecting, I said, oh, Charlie, radio has started booming. Joy had come up.
Yeah.
The first private, Groove was there, and then later on, Vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I said, why don't I join a radio station and do talk radio? So somebody introduced me to my cook, who was the general manager of Vibe then. So I went to him and I said, listen, I want to join and do a talk show. First question, do you have any experience? Folks, I lied. I said, oh yeah, man.
Like the one we took.
I said, what? I used to do some talk programs on WLIB. And of course, folks, don't do this. You too, Mofo. So Mike was so impressed. And then Mike asked me something during the interview. No, he asked me to write something. And later on, years later, Mike told me that one line I wrote was why he hired me.
Wow.
I wrote in there that there's nothing like a dull show. There can only be a dull presenter. So Mike tells me that was the line. He said, okay, if I'm saying this, then I must know what I'm talking about.
Exactly.
Still a very relevant line, eh?
Very relevant.
Yes.
Very,
Very relevant.
There's nothing like a dull show. There can only be a dull presenter.
Yeah.
So of course he was very impressed. He says, what show are you going to do? I said, talk shop. And it was just going to be like a one-person monologue show. The one my son is doing now, Nana Kwawansa.
Yes.
That's my
Nana Kwawansa
opinion.
used to come to me back in the day, sit across me and vibe and everything. So I was not surprised that Nana Kwawansa is doing so well on radio himself.
Right.
And people tell me, oh, Charlie, have you listened to that guy? He sounds like you. I said, me ba.
So do you remember how you would introduce your show back in the day? Do you
Back in the
recall?
day?
Can you if you remember, can you do something like that for us?
That was
I think I would, something to the effect that, you tune in to...
Should I give you the sick tune?
Give him the 60.
Yeah.
I said, this is Vibe 91.9. 91.9 is 91 plus 1, where that gives it 100%. And I said, you are the Vibe, the station with total air supremacy.
That's right. That's
Power
right.
to the people.
That's right.
Total air supremacy. And the show is Talk Shop. And folks, I tell it like it is and let the chips fall where they may.
I am
and there was
actually
another line.
yeah.
He never forgot that line. Truth
Crash to earth.
crashed to earth.
Shall rise
Shall
again.
rise again.
You remember, man.
Yes. I listen.
I'm now beginning to connect. I'm now.
Bond of 1844.
I tell you.
The alliance is working.
On his side, maybe I'm get should have. So,
And gentlemen, listening to KSM say that line right now,
Yeah.
and the punch in there,
The truth bit.
it actually makes me feel like I'm listening to Nana and Sakwao
Yeah,
and what
really?
he does.
Yes. Because
You know,
Nana uses it.
exactly.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Pretty interesting. So you came back. The film wasn't exactly what you expected. You went into radio. Was it paying?
Really? I remember my first salary. I got one day. First, I was just an independent presenter.
Yeah.
Then I was so much a part of Vibe. Mike.
Mike. Yeah.
Mike said, why don't you be the manager? I'm like, really? So I think for a while I was manager. And I remember I was earning, back in the day, 40 cedis. Old Ghana, as they would put it.
Was it a
Which
day?
was 400 oh.
An hour?
No! A month. That's a shock, eh? I said, no, I think that
I walk around them.
because it was 400,000 then. What was it? 400? What?
40 would be about 4,000 at the time.
4,000.
Or,
4,000.
or 40,000.
Yeah.
No, 40 would be 40,000. So we cleared 4
40,000.
zeros.
How many
So it would be
zeros?
four
Yeah.
zeros.
4 zeros.
4 zeros. So it would be
400,000.
40,000.
That's a-
40,000.
40,000.
40,000.
Okay,
No, no,
yes.
no. Well, actually,
40
400,000.
cities. So 4,000, okay.
400,000.
40,000.
40,000.
Yeah,
yes.
that was good money.
That was good money
40,
then, man.
No, 40,000 would be 40 plus 3 zeros. So if we cleared 4 zeros, that would be 400,000.
Yes.
Yes.
Well,
400,000.
So 400,000. Then it was
That,
good.
that sounds right.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
sounds right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
yeah.
40 cities.
Yeah.
400,000
Yeah.
of them.
I remember my salary during the same period, so I think.
Yeah,
it was-
Oh, during which period?
So it was decent, you know.
Yeah.
I was okay, you know. I was okay, you know.
So was there a need to do something else as a creative, or you were comfortable being a
What
creative
happened
at the
was
time?
this.
Yeah.
I was so comfortable on radio. Talk shop was like the in thing.
Oh, that was the in thing.
I remember Ebo White says that sometimes he would schedule his sales travels
Yeah.
around Tuesday, around the time. So he could just move from the office, go and park somewhere and listen
And
to
listen.
me. that was what it was,
Yeah.
you know. So I remember one time my wife said, you seem to have forgotten that you went to study theater. You know, now you're a radio man. And I'm sure you have lost all your
Theatrical
creativity
skills.
and things like that for the theater. And I said, no. So she sort of dared me to prove that I was still relevant and knew the game. So out of that dare, in my annoyance to prove to her, I sat down and I wrote a play called The
Saga of the Returnee.
You know, did my editing and I wrote it. Just to let her know that, Charlie, when I want to write, I can write. So I wrote The Saga of the Returnee, and I said, I have to put this up. I can't just write the play and put it
And
on
leave
the
it
bed.
there, yeah.
Because the whole bed to show her that I still got it.
Exactly.
So I wrote The Saga of the Returnee, and I think my first show was at the Christ the King Assembly Hall.
Okay.
You know, I went with my friends, we put up the set ourselves to put things together, and we did our first show at Christ the King. And it got a good turnout, honestly.
Oh, great.
I was amazed with the turnout. You know, so that's how it started. And it was like, people were like so loving it. So I moved from Christ the King to the British Council Hall.
Okay.
And the British Council Hall said, listen, we don't do commercial stuff here like that. Unless you're going to do it and donate it to a cause or something,
Okay.
then we can give you this space. So I said, why not? At that time, I had a friend called Prickle, who had a sister who was visibly challenged.
Challenged. Okay.
So I said, okay, I'll do something and I'll donate it to the Ghana School of the Blind. And that's how I was able to get the British Council Hall to stage the Saga of the Returnee. So I booked the British Council Hall, and fortunately, I was on air then. So I used my time to just
To do
as
the
much as
publicity.
I can push the show.
Okay.
You know, the first show didn't do well at the British Council Hall. I think then it seated 300 people, if I remember, 300 or 200. I sold 13 tickets. But guess what?
13.
Again, I had given out so much on my show.
Yeah.
I comped the place out.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So if you're there at the British Council Hall, it's a full house.
Exactly.
But the box office knows that there were only 13
13.
tickets sold. You know.
Wow.
So the Friday that it opened with my 13 tickets, it's a full packed house, complimentary in Kwana. And so just as I was ending, I told them that
The show would run
they
again.
loved the show. I got a standing ovation. People were like in love with the show. So as I finished and I took my curtain bow, then I said, by the way, the show will be here next week. And guess what?
Sold out.
Sold out.
Exactly.
So the first one was a giveaway, was a sacrifice. Totally.
It was
13
actually
tickets.
bait.
This next one was sold out. And from that time to date, I don't think I've performed any of my performances as much as I performed the Saga of the Returnee. I think I must have done it up to 12 times.
Wow.
So it was during that era that I ran into Talal Metro TV.
Metro
Yeah.
TV.
Yeah. And Tala said, I've heard so much about you and I read some things about the show. I think we should take it out of the British Council Hall and take it to the National Theatre.
Wow.
I have arrangement with them for some whatever butter. So we have the space.
Shoo.
I said, really? So I said, sure, why not? So I have to give credit to Talal then.
Allow Fatal.
Yeah, Talal Fatal. He booked the space and he used Metro to run it like crazy, the arts. About this show coming on, and I did some very, very, very funny, what do you call that?
Promos, yeah.
You know, I'm going to put Kofo here, and I'll put JJ here, and I'll tell them, shake hands.
Yeah.
You know, some silly thing like
Yeah.
that, you know. And of course, it took on like wildfire. And the show at National Theatre was sold out completely. You know.
Interesting.
So then I told my wife, Charlie, you see, I still got it.
You still got it, man.
And let me tell you what was funny, George, and you know,
Yeah.
because it was a one-man play, and because it was funny, the Ghanaian interpretation of it was that it was a stand-up comedy. It wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. A play has a beginning, a middle, and an end. It has characters.
Yeah.
It climaxes. It has a climax. It has a conflict.
It has
and a
conflict.
resolution.
Yeah.
And that's what I did. But because I did it as a one-man performance, and people were watching it, and because they enjoyed it so much and they laughed,
You said it was
they called it
stand-up comedy.
So I think it was around that time that Nabi Datsun,
Yeah.
he used to be Showbiz.
Yeah, graphic
Yes.
showbiz editor.
You know, he wrote a brilliant review of the thing, and he called me King of Comedy in that review, and that was.
And
then
that
the-
was where it
Yes.
started from.
That's where it started from.
I'm sure he's listening to the show. He listens.
Yeah,
Yes, Uncle Nab listens to
So
us all the
Nabi, if
time.
you're listening, you know.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so when I noticed that, wow, the film didn't quite take off like I wanted. Radio is doing cool, but the stage looks fantastic. So I had to make some calculations, you know. I was still on radio though, you know. So, and it was around the time, 99, when Rawlings was about to exit and Kufuor's entry.
Yeah.
It was around all that time. And the politics and
Political
the
tension, yeah.
political tension, everything. So I wrote my first show after the Saga of the Britannic called Politically Incorrect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. And that show,
Something else.
something happened, man.
Was Talal Fatal's organization media number one?
Yeah, there was
Yeah,
media
Media
number
One,
one. Yeah,
yes.
that's what it was.
And then he
Yeah.
became the owner of
Metro TV,
yeah.
Yeah.
So that show, I was backstage getting ready, and then somebody came and said, Charlie, JJ is here. oh."
Wow.
I said, what?
Why, you didn't know he was coming?
No.
Oh, interesting.
Because of the commercials, I was thinking, I'll put him here. You know, I think that, I don't know why he came, but that's when I got alerted backstage that JJ was there.
Pressure on the mind, eh?
Charlie. And his wife. I
Wow.
said, really?
Nice.
You know, it was something else, George. Because when I entered the National Theatre, and there was such rousing applause, and everybody, you know, and then I walked in and I saw JJ sitting down there, and I shouted, "That's my man!" I had never seen him before.
Wow.
You know, "That's my man! You're the man! You're the man!" You know, and the praise was like haywire. You know, so I did Politically Incorrect.
Yeah.
And I think what that show did was, I think that was the first time Ghanaians realized, or most Ghanaians realized, that this man that we think is a monster, he too has a sense of humor.
Yeah.
He can laugh, he can enjoy, you know, because I brought that out of him,
Yeah.
you know. And the show went on until I pushed him until he got to a part where he actually took part in the play.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. You know, I went and sat in front of him and I said, Mr. President, please level with me. You know, you left the government, you know, and the MPP is in, they say you have chopped all the money. And you should have seen the National Theatre. Like, this man is crazy.
This
He
is
telling
Rollins.
He's chopped all the money.
Who won dog?
Yes, I was. And he was cracking up.
Wow.
And then he told a very, very funny story, you know. So I'm saying, so that play stood out,
Yeah.
you know. So I just realized, wow, so this thing works. I mean, if Ghana is going to call it stand-up comedy, fine. I think I'm doing a one-man show, but I'm saying stand-up comedy. If that's what they'll pay to come and see, then let's continue.
We're having a conversation right here on Joy 99.7 FM. It's Showbiz A to Z. We're having a conversation with a man who usually interviews people. I mean, I have personally been on the show 3 times. Yes. And today it's a great honor to have him on our show, the man KSM. You can be a part of this conversation, 055-1111-997. You can also watch us live on Joy Prime Television, or you can watch us on Facebook at Joy 99.7 FM, hashtag Showbiz A to Z. And you can send your questions through if you have any contribution, anything at all. The man is right here with us in the studio. I'm going to bring my panel into the conversation because we are situating this chat into our broader big talk, which is about how to sustain a creative enterprise. Is it possible for a creative in Ghana to survive by solely being a creative? Kesam, you mentioned your wife. Now, at which point in all these did you get married, and did you come with her from the States? How did she feel when you were deciding to relocate?
No, I saw her in the States.
Okay.
That's where we met.
Okay.
And I really remember when she came to visit the university I was in, the college I was in, I just remembered very well that she used to laugh at anything I say. She was a very easy audience for me. If I make a BS, I'm like, oh wow.
That's funny, I swear.
Here's one person who enjoys my humor. Oh wow.
It makes the work easier.
So, I mean, that was the initial time we met, and the Ghanaian, so the community. So we met not many times.
Yeah.
But I remember long afterwards, I'm talking years afterwards,
Yeah.
when I moved to Ghana, and then I heard that she was also in Ghana.
Oh, okay.
So I remember, that lady that laughs at everything I say. Is she in Ghana? Wow. And not only did I hear she was in Ghana, but she was divorced as well.
Oh, okay.
So I'm like, okay. And I kind of
And yes,
so one day I did my own due diligence. Found out where she lived.
Definitely.
She was home in the evening when I showed up at her door, rang the doorbell, knocked on the door.
Laughter is here.
And then her daughter came to open the door.
Okay.
Cute little daughter, And I said, is your mom home? And she said, yeah. And she asked, who should I say is here? Guess what I said? Tell her her husband is here.
Wow. Wow.
Your lack of confidence. Your lack of confidence.
Who? Me?
Who's Quaye?
At this point, I feel like asking one question. What tribe is the woman?
Fanti.
You don't try that with my Ghana people. Ola,
So that's why I just said, tell her husband is here, And she didn't like that very, very much. Yeah, she didn't like that.
Yeah.
It went then
What kind of?
And so that began my reintroduction to her. And then from there, we started talking. Thank you. We started talking and dining, And she was actively, now she's a consultant for the World Bank, but then she was actually working for the World Bank.
Okay.
As one of their senior policy analysts, So of course she took me to the town. She took me to lunches every day. Shall I take you here? Shall you take you there? Places that I wouldn't go on my own. Because my lunches are quite basic, man.
Exactly.
With the cocoa.
You were having a creative lunch.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I was having a crazy line, but she took me to the upscale one where you get to understand which fork you use and which knives, things like that, And so, and the rest is history.
Exactly.
We got married.
That's beautiful.
The little girl that I took long ago, you tell her husband is here. She now calls me daddy. So.
How old is your son now?
My
son.
Yes.
Yes.
I have 2 of them.
You have 2. The one who was nominated for was it Grammy?
Yes. He's 31 now.
He's 31.
Yes.
Yes, a lot of people do not know that.
Black
Justin,
Quaye,
did you
yes.
know?
No.
Yeah. He has a son who was nominated, I think, 62nd Grammy Award for soundtrack or something.
Soundtrack, yeah,
for
Spider-Man.
a movie, Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So a Ghanaian worked on the soundtrack for the Spider-Man movie.
Yes. That guy is so hardworking, so determined, so creative. And the funny thing is, I didn't even know all about him
Wow.
until one time somebody sent me something recording. Said, Charlie, do you know Yao is into music? I said, really?
Yeah.
I thought his flair was for, the acting and things like that, Because you would watch a movie over and over on the video and start memorizing what the characters are saying. And so I didn't see him in the music era, in the music space, I'm sorry. So it was quite surprising to know that he's so hardworking with music. And yes, he was nominated for a Grammy for Spider-Man.
As a father, how did that make you feel?
I was so proud of him. So proud of him, because he's like a creative, he just wants to lock himself in the studio and just do his music. And the traditional man that I am, was like, well, keep your options open, make them broad, and he would take it as good advice, but his whole concentration was into his music.
And he calls himself what? Black Way?
Black Quaye.
Why that name?
Do I know? We'll have to ask him.
Let's listen to this and then we'll continue the conversation.
Well, folks, today, as a father, and Father's Day is coming soon, but as a father, I have one proud moment to show to you the music video of my son. My son chose to become a rapper. Ladies and gentlemen, my son, the rapper called Black Way.
Black Way. You found what up, man? Let him run. Where she at? Look at my eyes and try to guess what I'll decide to do. She feeling my style, my clothes, and I get that designers new. But for you, I just might rock a tux and probably shine my shoes. And thinking I just want you to lie with me is besides the truth. Start in the morning and probably stop at noon. Never been to Atlanta, but I just might go down south for you. And my sister keeps saying me and a chick up in that ANC square is exactly what she told me not to do. But my mistakes are usually less. But I'm willing to take that chance like no community chest. And honestly, I didn't mean to stare. But when I saw that body, girl, I swear I lost my mind. Your sexy body all up in my spirit. I swear I say you didn't make my decrease. With the way where you just got tiny flips. I thought I lost my mind. Say nobody do it like you. Say nobody.
It's Showbiz A to Z.
I swear I wanna make you my boo. So can I get up? 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 Oh no 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 no. Say can I get up? Oh no 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 no. Say can I get up? Can I get up? I hope you're bold enough to try me. Cause I've been in one of my moves, I thought I told you not to find me. But you know how to get me going at all the right times. So I know you're feeling yourself like rubbing lotion on your body. I've been on my grind 2012 for such a lonely year. So wear something sexy and bring your friend, cause one of my homies here. My bedroom been feeling hotter than hell's floor. Your legs around my waist, what I need a belt for? Cause my mistakes are usually less. But I'm willing to take that chance like no community chest. And honestly, I didn't mean to stare. But when I saw your body, girl, I swear I lost my mind. Your sexy body all up in my spirit. I swear I say you didn't make my decrease. With the way where you just got tiny flips. I thought I lost my mind. Say nobody do it like you. Say nobody do it like you. I swear I wanna make you my boo. So can I get up? 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 Oh no 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 no. Say can I get up? Oh no no no. Open your eyes, little mama, I'm for real. Nah, 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 nah. I like what I see. I'm just spending night or two, I'm trying to chill. Nah, 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 for real. The 24/7 we be popping bottles. 24/7 with it. Nobody come close to you.
Unlock banking with biometrics and get more done in a flash. Now, you can access the Absa mobile banking app using your fingerprint or facial recognition. That's right. A smile or touch is all it takes. Pay bills, buy airtime, do any transaction, and so much more. Enjoy convenience from the cutting-edge bank designed to get things done. Download the Absa mobile banking app today. That's Africanacity. That's Absa. For inquiries, visit your nearest Absa bank. Terms and conditions apply.
Hey, my phone is broken.
We've all been here before. The moment when your heart literally stops beating and you see your entire social life and savings flash before your eyes. Yep. Your phone just fell and you are frozen in fear, awaiting the post-mortem reports to find out just how badly your phone is damaged. But now, you no longer have to panic when your phone experiences liquid or accidental damage thanks to MTN Device Insurance.
Just install the MTN Device Insurance app, fill in the details and make payments, and experience the peace of mind that comes with knowing your device is insured as you continue to enjoy the most amazing 4G Plus experience only on Ghana's fastest network. Visit MTNDeviceInsurance.com or download the MTN Device Insurance app on Google Play or App Store and get your phone insured today with Device Insurance powered by MTN. We there for you everywhere you go.
At times like this, I wish I had 10 hands. When I see the pile of dirty clothes, wish I had 10 hands. Now thanks to one more, with power of 10 hands, yo. When I wash, it's just like I have 10 hands. Laundry is so much easier. Oh, the power of 10. Gives my clothes an amazing fragrance.
Introducing Omo with the unique power of 10 hands that removes tough stains easier and gives your clothes an amazing fragrance. Omo removes tough stains.
If we change the way we look at things, the things we look at change.
Winning strategies, nuggets of wisdom, unforgettable stories, all in one inspirational hour. Springboard your virtual university with Albert and Comfort Okran and guests.
Planning is bringing the future into the present.
A job is for the salaries, mundane, survival-oriented, and there's no passion. But a career has fulfillment, innovation, drive. A growth path is clear, and you can build step by step all the way to the top.
Matriculate at 7 p.m. and graduate at 8 p.m. every Sunday on Joy 99.7 FM and live on Facebook. Springboard is brought to you by Legacy and Legacy and Joy 99.7 FM and proudly sponsored by MTN, Enterprise Group, UMB Bank, and Axis Pension Trust with support from the graphic business.
24 nations playing football that sums up the massive, unbelievable skill of the best in Europe. 51 games of football that will get the fans to their frenzied best and frustrated worst. 1 month of football played with legacies that will write history once and for all. One big trophy is the reason why all that football will be played from Friday, June 11 to Sunday, July 11 for Euro 2020. The Multimedia Group is the home for all that football to be served to you in live HD. So see it feely on HD Plus on Adum TV channel 103, Joy Prime on 102, and Joy News on channel 101. Radio commentary, social media engagements, and live updates online. Without a doubt, we are your home for the Euros this season. Euro 2020 will be a rewarding experience. The Multimedia Group is your home for Euro 2020. And all games are live in HD on the HD Plus decoder. HD Plus is the HD experience partner for multimedia this Euros on Adum TV channel 103, Joy Prime channel 102, and Joy News channel 101. The Euro 2020 coverage is brought to you by Betway, DBS Industries, and the Azar Group.
George is on Joy. Keep it locked.
When I'm down on the microphone stand, I give you all the dope lyrics and introducing the band to make you understand how this is planned. I demand a microphone to rock the homeboy with an instrumental to make noise. Yo, I rock the home bill suit. I'll explain the name of the crew. Yo, this
Yes, you tuned into Joy 99.7 FM. Check with your time as 51 gone after 4. We're having a beautiful conversation in the studios with my man KSM, the man who usually interviews a lot of people. Today, we've flipped the conversation. He's the one being interviewed. 055-111-1997. You can be a part of this conversation. Serena Williams once said, and I quote, "Every woman's success should be an inspiration to another. We're strongest when we cheer each other on." Now, Glitz Africa present the 6th annual Ghana Women of the Year honors, a night to celebrate remarkable Ghanaian women excelling across various spheres and making Africa proud. Areas for this year's awards include Entrepreneur of the Year, Corporate Personality of the Year, Media Personality, Health Advocacy, Young Star, Star Power Africa, Fashion Force, Lifetime Achievement, and Governance. They've also got Music Personality, Film Theatre Actress, Public Service, Sports, Humanitarianism, Activism, Woman of the Year, Diaspora. Who is your Woman of the Year? To nominate, send name per category and submission essay to Woman of the Year at glitzafrica.com. And together, let's celebrate our superwomen in society for their tremendous efforts. For inquiries and sponsorship, please call 0302-798513 or 050-158-1261. Email Women of the Year at glitzafrica.com. Ghana Women of the Year honors women inspiring women. And the battle lines are drawn. 16 schools in Ashanti region ready to do battle supremacy and the bragging rights as the best school in debating. Can Sage Jerome SHS defend their title, or will any of the other 15 schools, including OWAS, Prempeh College, YAGS, Ghana Muslim Mission, CAS, Presbyterian, HTS, Bompata, etc., wrestle it from them? Make a date, Monday, May 31st to July 2nd, 2021, as you get thrilled to fierce and insightful arguments on the Love FM High School debate from senior high schools in Ashanti. Catch it live online at Facebook at Love 99.5 FM, on Radio Love 99.5 FM, and Joy Prime's Joy Learning on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 1 p.m. each day. This event is brought to you by Love 99.5 FM in collaboration with Ashanti Regional SRC, the Ghana Education Service, and the Conference of Heads of Assisted Secondary Schools, CHAS. Sponsors, Cowbell Amil, Key Soap from Unilever. Like I said earlier, we're having a beautiful conversation with my man KSM, and I see some messages coming in. Yes, and we did indicate that Uncle Nab is always listening, and he sent a message. Let me quickly see if I can get the message from Nana Begin Datsun. He says, "Yes, sirree, of course I'm tuned in. Thanks, KSM, thumbs up, you're the man." And that's from Nana Begin Datsun, former editor at Graphic Showbiz. And we also got this one from Mr. Kofi Chikata, the World Bank. Says, "That's my man, one and only KSM. You do all. You still got the vibe. You dissed us a lot, but we still love you. Keep it up, bro." Were you dissing people? Uncle Ken.
Oh.
He was dissing people, eh?
He always had a target.
Oh, yeah?
On the show.
Always.
Every week.
Well, we hit the streets to see what some people had to say about KSM, so you might want to take a listen to this one.
I'll just say he should continue what he is doing. He shouldn't listen to what people are saying about him. Even though we have people who say stuff about him at the back, but he should not listen to that negative side of what they are saying. He should rather continue with what he is doing, because we have people who are looking up to him. He wouldn't know. His photocopy will soon be out. So he should wait for it, and we are waiting to bring what he is imparting into us out there.
I know to be a good TV host, presenter, and a comic actor. I got to know him through thank God it's Friday, the program. That's how I got to know him. And I've never missed his show on Metro TV before. I always love watching him. He's a great TV host. I have to tell him to continue his good work he's doing, because Ghana needs him.
KSM is, let me say, a daddy, a motivator to others, because I started watching him during my childhood time, like the KSM show, his comic videos on TV and stuff. So I think with what he's doing, I know him to be a big screen man. Like when it comes to the gurus and on the screen, he's one of them. So he's a motivator to the youths. like I don't know how to say, but he's a great person.
It's Showbiz A to Z.
And the show goes on. Kiazam, when you hear stuff like these, how do you feel?
Well, it was good to know what people are thinking or saying about you. You know, my whole objective is to uncover talent.
Yeah.
You know, and my whole objective is to help make people rise up, who need to be seen, who need to be heard, and if they are up there already, just get people to meet them. So when I hear reactions that seem to suggest that I've been in the right direction, I'm okay with that.
I've got a few more questions, but let me bring my panel into the conversation. We've spoken for an hour, and let me start with Sadiq Abdullah Abu. Sadiq, the legendary KSM is here.
I mean, unlike Uncle Ken, for me, I obviously didn't start out. I obviously wasn't so conscious enough to know a lot of the things. I mean, KSM was involved in then, but obviously, I think I remember Politically Incorrect. I remember the Saga of the Returnee.
Yeah.
And I remember him as well on a Sunday show that he used to do on
Build Your Ark.
FM.
Nyamisume.
Okay. Chant. Yeah, where he plays a lot of gospel music. Yeah.
Was that also on Vibe?
Yes,
that was also on Vibe.
Yes.
You know, so I remember those as well. And obviously, during the time when I started out in the media industry, I used to see him a lot at Metro. Because I started out at Metro as a production assistant.
Okay.
Like just around that time, himself, Willie, and Co had started the Thank God It's Friday show. Okay. You know, that's I think as far as I was connected to KSM in a way. But I mean, I'm really in love with how he's been trying to have his voice heard, particularly on Twitter, and how he engages young people. You know, it's rare to see statesmen like him get involved in engaging young people and being very active and vocal in a lot of the relevant issues that comes up. You know, and that's, for me, it's a good one.
Great. But you don't have any question?
No,
beautiful.
Mr.
Mwejepo.
I want to hear more from Uncle Ken.
Exactly. I think that let me throw in the caveat and join Sadiq from
these people.
I wasn't born in 1844. I'm a Latter-day Saint. I actually feel like an 18-year-old boy sitting here right now. So, first of all, I'm humbled.
You are in school.
And George, you had no business inviting Sadiq and I to the show today. You should be home listening to the show. So I guess I would flip mine into a question, right?
Yeah.
So if you could have dinner or go on a dinner date with one of these two characters, who would it be, Sribwo or Lasisi?
I think I'll go with Sribwo.
Did Sribwo allow you to blast people more? Or did you find that character easier in dealing with issues more than Lasisi?
Actually, I think Lasisi.
Lasisi was more vocal.
Yeah, Lasisi was more vocal and crude. She was a bit refined. At least she came across as refined. You know?
Okay.
Lasisi was just very crude. I think. Yeah.
So let's talk about Lasisi then. I'm always intrigued by. I think he was a commander in chief.
Sergeant Major.
He was a sergeant who was a commander in chief.
Yeah.
How did that come up?
Kiazam, before you answer the question, just a little background. Listeners, the names Jesse have mentioned are characters that KSM played. These are characters that he depicted on stage. So they are not people. So don't start Googling Lasisi and Sribwo. So they are characters that he played. So please, now let's hear you, sir.
So I want to know about the creation of Lasisi.
Yeah.
Because I think you looked the part, you sounded the part, you paced the stage. Tell me about how that was created.
The first time I did Lasisi, I think I did 2 Lasisis. But the first one I did, it was we're nearing the independence celebration of Ghana. I don't remember Ghana at what though. I don't remember the age. But I wanted to do something on our evolution as a country politically.
Okay.
From back in the day, from Nkrumah to then, I think it ended with Kufuor.
Yeah.
You know, so I wanted to do some kind of comedy on that whole group. And I figured if I used a military character who was stern
the
and
transitions would work.
Yes, it would work better for me to communicate whatever message I was communicating as a sergeant major.
Fair.
So that's why I created the Lasisi.
Fair. So
to be the vehicle. Yeah.
That takes me to where I really wanted to get you to, because then within Ghana's political evolution, you've played Lasisi to have a depiction. So KSM politically, your political views I can't predict it, but you seem to have a very strong, solid opinion on issues that happen. So would it be fair to ask you what your views of how politics looks like in the country? Are you left-leaning? Are you right-leaning? And I'm not asking about political parties. I'm asking about ideology, per se, yes.
I think from all the way back from back in the day, secondary school, I had always been attracted to the left.
Okay.
I was a radical. I think my views are more radical than moderate.
Okay.
You know, and
so
also
left of center.
Left of center.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And a liberal. So that's where I tend to gravitate towards. You know, but I think I have calmed down now. But as Ken was saying, when I came up in my radio show, there was a whole segment called "In the Line of Fire."
Okay.
So I'll pick a character, politician, whoever was in my line of fire. Would get the fire.
Fair.
You know.
Fair.
So I think my orientation has more been to the radical shift than anything else.
George, last one.
Oh,
so in 2021, do you think that the left-minded individuals are over pushing the ideology of like the wokeness? And do you think that we're moving too far into the left? And if we move too far into the left, it will look as if we're losing very strong conservative views across the world.
I think the conservatives are dominating anyway. You know, I see inklings of the left sort of like emerging, trying to squeeze their way through, but I think the dominance is still...
It's still on the right.
Yeah, still on the right.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm done, Uncle Ken.
Are you?
Yes, he's done.
Nice.
Uncle
George,
Ken, yes.
I am so happy. I am happy Kweku is here.
Yeah.
I don't know whether I should be happy I'm going to have this discussion with Kweku on a platform such as this. But I think it is an opportunity for me to ask Kweku this, because I know there are so many people out there who are having these thoughts that I have. Kweku, you remember I told you Kweku's father was the moderator of the Presbyterian Church of Ghana.
Yes. Yeah.
For 3 terms. And nobody has ever done that, apart from Kweku's father. He was such a gentleman. You know?
Yeah.
Everybody loved him. Now, Kweku, people perceive is anti-church. People have said I've read so many things on social media, in the press.
His commentary also.
His commentary, Kweku's commentary, you know. Kweku does not believe in prophets, so-called prophets today. Kweku has issues with being born again, which I share.
Ouch.
Because I was baptized as a Presbyterian.
When are we putting him here?
You will. Very soon.
Invite me. I want to be
Very
there.
soon. It will be Uncle Kenstead. Yeah.
Kweku does not believe in sections of the Bible because he does not think that the God that we proclaim as being such a magnanimous human being, caring, loving, what have you, could also have been such a terrible person in the sense that he could, you know, get people punished or put people into places where they were not supposed to be. And so a lot of people do not understand why Kweku, who is from such a Christian home, should be like that. I just want Kweku to open up slightly for us this evening.
So he's lost that conservative belief.
Before you even go there, as
Yeah.
part of I have the best producer on radio in Ghana. His name is Philip Chairmanai. He went to do some digging and found some headlines, things you have said. Let me quote some of them. Mahama is even responsible for the delay in Jesus' second coming. And this was on 6th of May 2021. And then this one says, I have never seen a genuine prophet in my entire life.
Correct.
23rd July 2020. The battle is not the Lord's. The Lord is tired. KSM challenges. And then this one on 18 July 2020. The Bible is full of contradictions. So just to support Uncle Ken's question, how do you react to some of these things?
Well, Uncle Ken, thank you very, very much for this question. And I'm extremely happy because this is such a powerful platform.
Right.
And to have a chance to explain just a little bit on this platform for me, I am grateful. Okay. I think the whole misunderstanding has come from my belief that the Bible, there are some great passages in the Bible.
Yeah.
When I go on my student tours, and I tour a lot with giving students encouragement and motivational stuff, you'd be amazed the quotations that I take from the Bible to make my point. There's one very, very powerful one that I may or may not say, depending on time. But that's what I think it is, that there are some parts of the Bible that are brilliant, absolutely amazing quotations that help enhance our life skills.
Yeah.
But I strongly believe that those who wrote the Bible, the word out there is that every word was inspired by God, and they were written under that inspiration. And that's why I have a problem with. I think those who wrote the Bible are men and women like me and you and people who are expressing their beliefs. However, because they are human beings like me, they attributed the same character to God. So in their understanding of God, God is just like us. I quote this all the time, plus many other segments, that Ken, the Bible tells us God is all-knowing.
Exactly.
Yep.
He knows everything. Even the hair on our head, God knows.
Yeah.
At the same time, you tell me that God wanted to test Abraham to find out whether or not he'll kill Isaac. So he said, Abraham, go and kill your son. And just as Abraham was about to slay the son, God said, hey, hold on. Now I know. Won't you? He didn't know before. Abraham, tobo. Afed Mahu said, Ubumi. Come on, man. This is God who knows everything. So when I raise a question like that, I'm like, but why do you tell me on one part that God is all-knowing, and then in the next minute tell me that he had to test somebody to find out what the person would do? And there are many such scriptures. There's one time, I think, when he destroyed the world with flood or something, he actually said he had repented that he created man. Repented? Repented is for me and you, George. We regret things. We repent because we didn't know what was going to happen. But God is all-knowing. So these are some of the problems I have that I throw out there that people don't seem to understand. And Ken said something very, very important there. That it's not that I don't believe in God. I just tell people that the God I serve, the image of God that I have is not the same image that I read in the Bible. I can see, from my point of view, God is loving unconditionally. Very, very important. He loves you unconditionally. I can see that same God at one point in his life ordering the Israelites to go and kill all the Amalekites. He says, kill them all. Kill mother. Kill nursing mothers. Nursing mother with a baby, breastfeeding the baby, kill them. I said, come on, man. I'm sorry. I beg to differ. I don't think God is capable of such terrorism. But I'm supposed to be a Christian, raised by the moderator of the Presbyterian Church. So I'm supposed to take that and believe that that is what happened. And I'm saying, I'm sorry. The same Bible tells me that Paul says when he was a child, he thought like a child. He spoke like a child. But now that he's an adult and mature, he thinks like a man.
Hallelujah.
And speaks like a man. I'm guilty of the same thing. When I was a child, I believed that God could repent and regret, sorry. But as an adult, thinking about the same thing, I don't think so. God is not capable of human emotions like, oh, what I did there, it has made him angry. Really? He didn't know. He's just finding out. Why are we ascribing human emotions to God?
You're changing the question.
That's all I've said. That yeah, there's a God that we serve, but we are making a mistake ascribing human qualities to a sovereign God. So therein lies my argument, and that's why many people who hate me say, "Oh, Charlie," like for example, and you quoted one of my tweets, "The battle is the Lord's."
Yes.
So when we are going for an election, whoever we elect, that's God's speak. No, that's a lie. When do we make God our electoral commissioner? We went there, George. We had the parties that we liked. Ken had his party, so did Jesse, Sadiq, and we want to vote on the choice, and the majority won. Why do you all of a sudden say the person that won was picked by God?
So you don't believe God had a hand in it?
No.
But then why did Donald Trump import angels from us?
That's part of the comedy. That's part of the comedy, you know. And so we sit down and say, oh, now say if it's Nana in power or JM in power, it's God that chose him. That's what God has selected for us. No. I think the God that I serve or want to serve is a God who has given us a free will because he gave us a conscience.
Yeah.
And because he has given us a conscience, we are supposed to use our conscience so that when we make certain choices, we should know that they come with certain effects. So you deal with the effects when you make the choice. But you don't do the wrong thing, make the wrong choices, and then go and blame God for the effect. The same Bible tells us that, behold, God is not mocked. Whatever a man soweth, that shall he reap. So are you going to go and say, I voted for a terrorist and I voted for whatever, but I'm expecting that once they are in power, things will change? No, that's what you sow, that's what you reap.
Good.
So, George and Ken, this is the long and short of everything.
I like
people are so angry that I said one point that I think that God is too supreme. He is an almighty God that no one religion can claim a monopoly of that God. That's all. Whether you're a Muslim, a Hindu, a Christian, whatever, that's your way of accessing this God. But that's fine. You're accessing God. But please don't say yours is the only way. And of course, that contradicts what the Bible will say about Christ being the only way. So, now but no, I'm sorry. I can't speak like a child anymore. Have I said enough?
Uncle Ken. Uncle Ken.
Yes, George.
Any more, or can we proceed?
No, leave Uncle Ken.
I should leave Uncle Ken.
He will take us another place.
I'm interested in some of this.
No, but you see, for instance, just like KSM has said, when I say that I do not believe in being born again before I can accept Christ, I'm only saying that I was born, I was baptized, I was christened in the Presbyterian Church of Ghana. I am not going to leave the Presbyterian Church of Ghana for any other faith. In the Presbyterian Church of Ghana, what I have been through is sufficient for me being accessible to the good Lord.
Thank you.
Out there.
Thank you.
So if you tell me that I need to be born again, I have a problem. Because why? I have already been accepted in the Presbyterian Church of Ghana, and I believe in the deeds of the church. So why should I
be born again?
Be born again.
Point well made. Kiasam, let us go into politics. What do you make of politics in Ghana? Very briefly. I don't want to ask a specific question because you've expressed a lot through your theatrical presentations. But currently, what do you make of politics?
I think it's too divisive and it's too petty. You know, the sad reality of the moment is that Now we're dealing with two major political parties who have been able to colonize our thinking. What do I mean by that? It's almost like the MPP has the patent and the right to certain thoughts. The SDC also have their patent and certain right to certain thoughts. So what betide you if you're a nationalist like me and a radical like me and who is pro-Ghana, if I bring out my thought and that thought is closer to something that has been patented by the NDC, then you're an NDC guy.
Interesting.
If my thoughts are closer to somebody where they have a copyright from the MPP and they owe the MPP. And so that's how we live. It's not even the content of what you have said, though. Who has the patent on what you have said?
Exactly.
How do you build a country like this? And that's what I find frustrating. I think that the polarization is too much. And it's very, 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 very sad where we are drifting. I'm happy, though, if I should add, that when I see folks like you, George, young ones, these young ones, you guys seem to have a different thinking. And I'm very happy that you are expressing a certain level of independence that is not under any of these colonial patterns that our political parties are living as. So I'm hoping that the youth will give us this new direction, you know. And I said somewhere yesterday that many times we say we are sick and tired.
Yeah.
You know, but it's so funny that we say we are sick and tired so much that it has just become a routine. Oh, I'm sick and tired of this. I'm sick and tired of this.
Yeah.
But what I'm seeing in the youth these days is that you are not only saying you're sick and tired, you're actually sick and tired of being sick and tired. And when you get to that level, then change is about to happen. So I just big up the youth of Ghana. Don't follow us and say we are sick and tired, but become sick and tired of being sick and tired. And create the necessary changes that we need to create. Let's come more like a united front as a people and move on. George, my bro.
I have two more questions, then we'll go into the other part. Oh, you're not done, Uncle Ken?
No, I'm done.
Great. What is your worst experience ever on stage?
Sorry?
Your worst experience ever on stage?
On stage?
Yeah.
I think it was politically incorrect part 2. After successfully doing part one and people loving it, I was inspired to do part 2. And few days before the show, when I was so happy that it had been sold out, I wasn't feeling well at all.
Oh dear.
I was actually sick.
Oh dear.
You know. But I said, Charlie, the show must go on. You know. And somehow I believe that when I get on stage, once I'm on stage, I'll get the spirit and I'll do the show. But when I got on stage, I realized, no. Even my thinking was incoherent. There were times I was doing the show and I was like, I think I've done this already. You know, it was bad. So I found a way to wrap up the show and then, you know, end the show. It was bad. I think that's the worst performance I've ever done.
Was that your last?
Was that your
last performance?
No. Luckily for me, the same Nabanyin Datsun, if you remember, he found that I wasn't well.
Yeah.
I was actually sick and I went to hospital right after the show. So he put that in the review.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You know, so that saved me.
That saved, yeah.
And and so the next time I performed after that, I did 2 shows. You know how you do 4 p.m. and 8 p.m.? I did 2 different shows for that day. The second one was like a bonus.
Okay.
To beg everybody for
that,
my flop the earlier show. So that was my worst performance, yes.
Interesting conversations. Let your messages come in. I'm going to read a few of them very soon. 055-1111-997. When we come back, another statement KSM made takes us straight into a big conversation for the afternoon. No actor or actress makes money only from acting in Ghana. You said that?
Yes, I did.
Is that true?
Very, very true.
We'll be right back. After the break, we'll speak about that. Stay on.
Classical music made by Bach, express God's love. Classical music made by Beethoven, express God's power. Classical music made by Mozart, express God's laughter. Please join Jeffrey every Thursday and Sunday, 12 a.m. to 1:30 a.m. to enjoy the very best of classical music by legendary composers here on Joy 99.7 FM.
The battle lines are drawn. 16 schools are ready to do battle for supremacy and the bragging right as the best school in debating.
In a country where everything is politicized, the church is the only body which is separate and independent to criticize the government when they go for unpopular interventions.
Another instance is the Ayawasu Wagon by-election, where unknown marksmen were seen dressed in a Ghana police SWAT uniform and caused great tension at the election ground. These men were later on denied by the commander-in-chief of ever being part of the Ghana Police Service.
Make a date from Monday, 31st May, as we bring you fierce and insightful arguments in the Love FM High School debate. Catch it live online on Facebook at LUV 99.5 FM on radio, and Joy Prime, Joy Lennon on Mondays on TV, Wednesdays and Fridays at 1 p.m. each day. The Love FM High School debate.
It's Showbiz A to Z.
Yo, it's VIP, don't need yo. We taking over, step up, keep you in the boots over. We're doing the vodka, no soda. Look here, and we're soldier. We be bada, we be hada, no be hala, no be chaka, we get your basa, no be yawa, check this.
I tell her no, I won't buy you clothes, I don't get weak like other men every time you moan. I'm not the same, girl, better get to know, You're not my wife if you don't like, I don't care, go. It's not me thing. She wanna push over, but I ain't gonna push over. She wanna push over, but I ain't gonna push over. And again, she wanna push over, but I ain't gonna push over. She wanna push over, but I ain't gonna push over. She want a man she can walk over. Me have another man you can walk over. So when I talk, don't talk over. See my.
You tuned into Joy 99.7 FM. In 7 minutes, we're going to wrap up on television. If you're watching us on Joy Prime, we got 7 more minutes, then we say bye-bye to you. But the show continues right here on Joy 99.7 FM and online at myjoyonline.com, and also on on Facebook at Joy 99.7 #Showbiz A to Z. We're having a great conversation with the man KSM. We haven't even gone where we want to go. So maybe, Philip, if it's possible for a part 2 next week.
Don't get weak like other men every time.
George, I agree with KSM. It happens that Israel is protected by advanced aerial technology, while Africa is protected by the God of Israel. Coming from Brown inside Damfa. Did you hear that? His name is Brown inside Damfa.
What did he say again?
He said, George, I agree with KSM. It happens that Israel is protected by advanced aerial technology, while Africa is protected by the God of Israel.
You wanna go down low.
Oh dear. Oh my goodness. Okay, this one says, hi George, great having KSM in the studios. Please ask him this for me about Chelsea, his daughter. Do they ever really get along? And does he believe, okay. That one is from Tom Brown. Okay, and this one says, George, I want you to ask KSM what happened way back between him, the United States, and the children. Babs from Abilingpi sent that one through. Hey, people know stories. Hi George, please tell Uncle Ken Sadiq wants to see their handsome faces. Regards to Uncle Ken, they should remove their mask. That's from Mata. Mata wants you to remove their mask. So I think it's the cup. I think it's the cup rather. I think she meant the cup. Great interview, George. Thank you. From Kwame Nabuaje inside Nafti. Sent that one through and a lot more. But let's get into it. So, you said actors and actresses are not making money. But they're the ones flaunting the most wealth on social media, especially the ladies. Guess and when you see some of the cars and the houses and the clothes, and how are they not making money? Where's the money coming from then?
Well, the thing is this. Social media...
Can I cut you? So you read the quote again. The answer is in the quote. Read the quote.
The quote says, no actor or actress makes money. Okay, I get you. Only from acting. So that's what I want to know. So how are they making it? How are they making it? So how are they making it?
Well, I don't know how they are making it. All I'm saying is that the claim they are making it all through acting is false.
Okay.
It can't be. Unless they are acting in other markets that I don't know about.
Okay.
But if it's in the same Ghana market that they release the Ghana movies in, and they claim that they have made so much money to be able to buy all these other things, it's totally false. You can't make that much money to afford the kind of luxuries we see on social media. And that's one thing, social media has come to disrupt so many things. There are great things about social media, but the downside of it too is that people have so much access to it and they put out so much untruth, thank you, in it, that it confuses people. And I feel sorry for the youth that are sometimes feeling so competitive to see their friends lying by cars and pools and things and wishing it was them. It is not them. It's easy to create that, But all I'm saying, and I've said, is this: if you, and I tell people that I'm happy that I've accomplished a bit, but trust me, it wasn't because I was doing one show a year or two shows a year at the National Theatre making people laugh. I couldn't live on that. No way. So if you're a creative, please listen to me. If you're a creative, it's best to develop other things that you can make money from. If you're creative, like you're an actor, singers are sometimes singing helps.
Yeah.
The music industry seems to be a little bit different. You can make breakthroughs in the music industry. But if you're like acting or you want to get into comedy and you want to do that full time and live on it, please, you are misguided. It's not possible.
Okay, so let me quickly ask this. If you had been in the States, would you say same? If you had practiced this stagecraft in the States, in the United States, would you say same?
Surprisingly, yes.
Interesting.
One of the biggest misconceptions we have here in Africa, Charlie, if I was in the States, by this time, no. Charlie, the actors in the States, they have this directory of the Screen Actors Guild of America.
Yeah.
So many names. Trust me, the percentage of that list that lives on acting alone is about 15 to 20%.
Interesting.
Most of them hustle. They do other things.
Hold that thought. Let me quickly wrap up on television. We're about to say goodbye to our viewers on Joy Prime Television. Special thanks to you for being a part of the show today. Of course, we're going to be back next Saturday, God willing, same time, right here on Joy Prime Television. Special thanks to the entire crew. But Showbiz A to Z continues right here on Joy 99.7 FM and online at myjoyonline.com and also on Facebook at Joy99.7 #Showbiz A to Z. We're out, but we're still here. So, Kazim, I mean, if it is the way it is, no, hold on. I'm going to come back to you shortly. But let me come to Sadiq because you mentioned music. You said it could be a little better at music. Sadiq, for a very long time, you managed musicians. You run Boom Play and you've dealt a lot in the music space. Are we saying that musicians in Ghana can survive on being musicians alone and live that kind of luxury? Is it possible in Ghana?
It's possible, but not automatic. And I also would want to possibly even use the percentage points that KSM used when you refer to the Hollywood, for instance. Yes, there are few of them that are making some substantial amount of money quarterly, particularly those that get the most streams.
Yeah.
Lately, some of them are also getting advances on the basis of their recent numbers. But again, if you want to go by the percentage of those people that you would say are in business, it's just a few. I mean, it's small. I mean, I don't think it should be anything more than 20% of the. If there would be a perfect idea of how many musicians we have, for instance, but it's just a few of them that are really. The rest, there are some of them that have actually even put their songs on digital platforms and haven't made much. Not more than even $100 in the quarter, So it's just a small percentage of them that are, but for a majority, percentage of them, you would have to be able to have something on the side, particularly to be able to fund what you're doing, particularly if you don't have a label or if you don't have a management team or if you don't have anybody directly investing in you, So it's just a small percentage that are actually making it. Even for this small percentage, some of the lives that are flaunted, right? It's not commensurate to the earnings we know of strictly from music. It's not. It's strictly from the music. I mean, they're like, in this town, It's a certain life that is almost always expressed. It's a life of opulence and all of those things, and it's a multi-billionaire lifestyle. You know, some of the earnings that we are aware of that comes particularly from, say, streams and regular activities and performances and all of that doesn't commercialize. And funny, sometimes in the industry as well, you're able to know how some of these things come beyond the irregular ways where industry makes money. The creative industry makes money from this thing. There's a certain measurement that has been pushed out, so you will know that okay, every year the marketing budget is say 300 million cities. The recent one, I don't know if you remember, that was cited 300 million cities. So when it's shrinking, it has an impact on a lot of these things, including even the shows that go to these talents. So within a drought period, we know when we are able to track your streaming numbers, you can be able to safely project using some of these ways that you perhaps made so much money from streaming than shows. And there's been instances like that. So when you show a certain lifestyle beyond what's your earnings directly from the music would match. I mean, everybody knows that. You have to do something.
Uncle Ken, it means that technically those in the space could be deceiving those who want to enter the space.
George, yes, the possibility is there to deceive. But I mean, what was your question? Your question was about do people in the creatives
can I be a radio presenter alone and not do anything else?
Not do anything.
Because if I have friends who are doctors and that's all they do. Nothing
else. Thank you for reminding me about the question. The fact of the matter is, it cuts across. In every profession, people do other things to supplement the revenue.
True. Not quite, Uncle Ken. Not quite.
Oh, what are you saying?
But that is true.
I mean,
not quite.
George.
For some
okay, it might not be 100%.
100%, yeah.
But I'm looking at about 90%. Seriously, I'm looking at about 90%. The business mogul who makes billions in a particular line of business would invest in something else that could bring him double what he's making at any given time. And that's not bad. I mean, he's entitled to do that.
Then my bad.
Look at the next.
No, hold on, my bad. Let me situate the question properly then.
What is my bad?
My bad.
I made a mistake. I was just going to ask him, what do you mean by that? I don't understand.
You're sitting by
primary school. Primary school students. Primary school students don't know this.
George, because of what you have said, I have no opinion.
This is street language, right?
That's true.
This can't be taught.
What is my bad?
It can't be taught in that.
Apologize.
My apologies to the entire panel. I take it back. Now, I'm asking on a ceteris paribus principle. All things being equal.
Now you have come down.
All things being equal, let us assume that, okay, just as I know doctors who are just doctors, they practice in hospital A, and their salary, whatever it is they get at the end of the month, is exactly what they are living on. They are comfortable, they have houses, they have cars, they are engineers, stuff like that, professors and stuff like that is it, and all that. I want to find out if the creative, that is why I said all things being equal, let us assume this is the principle. Could creatives in Ghana survive by solely being creatives?
It depends on what the creative is doing.
Exactly.
And how the creative is managing his
some elements
affairs.
that are booming.
Yeah, there are some, like Sadiq rightly said so. You know, there are some that are booming. But there are others who, due to no fault of theirs, but the fault of the system in which they operate, that will have to do something else, like I said, to supplement the revenue that they make. And you cannot blame anybody for doing that. I was listening to a program and somebody was asking an actor, I don't want to mention names, the actor was there, and he was asked, why is it that actors are all turning into producers instead of just remaining as actors, you know? And you see where I'm going? And the answer the person gave was that, being on the job, you tend to learn as you go along. And your curiosity is what makes you want to do what the producer is also doing as well as act. But in effect, that would mean two revenue streams in some way.
Yes.
Not always.
But possibly in the same creative industry.
In the same creative industry, you know. So I think that I don't have a problem with people earning extra money elsewhere because, like I said, it happens in all spheres of life, George, and the creatives are no exception.
They are no exception indeed.
Yeah.
Let me bring Jesse into the conversation. I don't know where you stand on this, your opinion, because you have had the opportunity to be. I mean, you've connected with creatives in your career path and all those things at various steps. What do you see and how do you situate it?
So I think that probably my answer, I will try and make it very short.
Yeah.
But in reality, you cannot have this conversation outside of the general economy. So if you start from what the economic outlook is like, if the economy is booming,
yeah,
and all sectors are firing, the creative triggered sectors also get to be firing. So if, as an example, those days you might say Kwesi Botwe will go to floor of parliament and then they would say salaries should be increased by X and everybody else is happy. Now, if the economy is growing, everybody is really, really happy. Now, if the economy is shrinking or if the economy is affected by, say, a COVID, as an example, the general outlook is shrinking. So in that look, the businesses that are closing, those in the creatives are also businesses, and their economy would shrink. So to answer your question is to look at the general economic outlook. Are we growing or are we shrinking?
National economies.
And if we are growing, in the growth, businesses are growing, the creatives would also grow. Now, you asked me the question from the viewpoint of somebody who's played within a sector before.
Yeah.
So I'll give you an example. That within the time that I was in Tigo, I might not be able to give you figures per se.
Definitely.
But there were some musicians that were paying almost about 100,000 to.
Yeah.
Maybe like 20,000 here.
As what? Paying for
Performance fees. Performance fees.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the industry, see, when the economy is good and business is happening, your marketing budget as a percentage of your top line, it makes sense to spend. But if the top line is shrinking, you can't justify the wages, and therefore everything else shrinks. So that's the way I would actually approach it. That's number one. Number two is that you said that, you know, maybe doctors, look, even doctors, there's a term called locum. You've heard it before.
Yeah. There's a message right here to that effect. Yeah.
Is with Kolebu Teaching Hospital.
Yeah.
And
when
he's
he-
doing locum at different
Lister.
clinics.
Not rich.
Yes. Why? Because
Hospital.
look, if the cost of living is going up, you need to survive. So nurses are doing locum also.
Yeah.
True.
So
Everybody.
Is it possible for creatives to survive? The answer is yes. Let me give you an example. Year of Return raked in 1.9 billion.
Yeah.
Who did the money go to? Think about it. It went to hotels, transportation,
Food.
musicians, actors, everybody benefited. So if there's a boom in there, they would make it. The real question is this, that what's my target and how much is enough for my lifestyle? So if my lifestyle is to spend 2,000 Ghana cedis a month and I'm making 20,000 Ghana cedis a month, I'm sitting
You're
pretty,
comfortable.
I'm fine. But if my lifestyle triggers 5,000 Ghana cedis and I'm earning
1,000.
3,000 Ghana cedis, then I'm in a
You have a
topsy-turvy.
problem.
Exactly. So for me, look at it from the general outlook of the economy. If we're doing well, the creatives will do super great. The only thing is that we haven't done enough for the sex sector.
That's where I was going
One
to
thing
go
that I
next.
need you to also
Yeah.
chase is this, that finally I said I wasn't going to talk
Yeah.
about a lot. Take a look at Tunisia. Tunisia has a startup act. Ghana, I think that we were trying to put together what you might call a startup act, right?
With the Ministry of Business
Yes.
Development. and stuff,
Inherent
yeah.
in that, because the creative sector might be one of the sectors that benefits a lot from briefcase businesses.
Yeah.
So they would enjoy more from a startup perspective. So if the act is not in place, what kind of structures are we putting in the system to allow the creatives to benefit more from? How are we injecting capital to support the creatives? We've heard in other countries that maybe from a venture capital perspective, creatives are supported.
Yeah.
In Ghana, have we seen a major contribution from the venture capital institution for the creative industry? We may not have seen that, or we may not, or I don't know.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying that there has to be a very concerted effort in trying to support the creatives, which is why I, for instance, I'm very expectant of what the creative agency would achieve. So what they do in the beginning,
because they have a,
it
they have
will
a
change
loaded
lot.
bill.
Yes, it will change a lot.
Yeah,
Okay.
George, I
Yes,
just
Uncle
want to
Ben.
add
Sure.
something to what Jeffrey just said. You're
Just
talking
so you
about
may.
the creatives.
Yes.
If you look at the creative space today, as we sit, all of the organizations are in turmoil as we speak.
Oh, the pillars.
Yeah, I
Like the
mean,
Musica, the Gambro.
They're all in court.
Gamro,
The welfare bodies. the welfare
They're all in
Access
court.
Guild,
Yeah.
ASOG,
Yeah. All of them.
all of them are in turmoil as we speak. So how are they going to be able to help their people benefit from what they should be benefiting from in society? Me, that is my problem. And why are they in turmoil? They are all in turmoil because they are all refusing to adhere to the tenets of their constitutions.
Leadership issues.
Leadership issues. Because look, the musicians, if Gamro was able to get its act together and get the revenue that is intended for musicians for them, a lot of them could be just happy being musicians.
So
That's a
just-
lot of
just
re-
one
that's
thing
a
on
lot
this
of
one.
additional
George,
revenue
as
to
a-
them.
As a private
Yeah.
sector employee,
Yeah.
if I wrote an application to say a Vodafone in the UK, and I am asked, okay, how much salary am I expecting? George, you know there's a website called Glassdoor.
Yeah.
Glassdoor can tell you the salary benchmarking.
Yeah.
Now, in Ghana today, within the creative space, you don't have a pricing benchmarking.
No.
So if the lead creative says, I now charge 100K, and I remember very well.
I remember, yeah.
One of the things that Shatta was
Shatta,
pushing
yeah.
for in Tigo when I was there was that if I charge you more, many here say can charge more.
Exactly.
So it takes the lead person at the time, like a Sarkodie or an EL, whatever they can to push the industry. Now, we don't have a clear pricing benchmarking. So even when we do an international show, then a guy from Nigeria charges $100,000. The guy from Ghana, there's no benchmarking, and therefore he goes on with little.
You're right.
So for me,
Yeah.
I'm keen on having benchmarking in the sector. And so I know we don't have too much time.
Philip, do you remember that Shatta was using this thing against Sarkodie some time ago on
That
our
is
show?
surprising. I remember.
Yeah.
On the Glow
Remember,
show. I mean, there was
yes,
this-
on
yeah,
a particular
there was
show,
some show,
he accused Sarkodie of accepting something
Lesser than
lower
they agreed
than what
to
they
charge,
had
yeah.
bargained for.
So it's
you know.
a big conversation.
Yeah.
But,
It is a big
today is
conversation.
for- today's
But
for Uncle, so-
talking about all of that, one of the things that triggered this conversation is that I don't know if it happens in other sectors, but look, almost every time I have heard that somebody is old, he's not working, we have to contribute some money for him from the creatives. Somebody is sick, he's in the hospital, we have to contribute money. It's from the creatives. Somebody's son or daughter or uncle or brother or sister is dead, they are struggling, we have to contribute money. It's from the creatives. So it makes me wonder, KSM, you had a program called Build Your Ark. Could it be that a lot of those in the creatives fail to build their arcs?
I think very, very, very much so. Very, very much so. Because, and that's a big, like you were talking about, the general picture, economic picture. When the economy is down and things are tough, the creatives hurt the most. You know, companies, the first thing they cut from their budgets is
Entertainment.
advertising revenue
Yeah.
to,
Yeah.
you know. So that's the key thing. So when you're a creative, somebody said some time ago, he says, it's not how much you earn, how much you keep.
That
You know,
makes you-
but the creatives, they earn and they blast it, or they like rather being on social media by a car they bought, and they don't keep. It's all about what they earn and what they can show up. So you're very, very right that eventually anybody you hear about, oh, let's raise funds or so and so and so, you know, can you believe that he was the star of this or he did this show? It's always the creatives, you know. But not to say that others do not go through that, except that when the creative goes through that, they have the feeling that we should advertise that they have done something before because they were in the limelight. So there's been a lot of focus on that era. But the other people too who are going through hard times, who are not creatives, except we won't know or find out.
But Kweku, the reason we won't know, and the point, the question George asked, it's because the creatives have a platform where they can be heard. Radio, newspaper, almost every radio station has an entertainment show.
They are newspapers.
Almost the
so-
newspapers, everything. So everything about the creatives is out there. unlike other sectors who also need to be seen, the creatives are always
on this, right?
While you discuss, let me quickly announce our phone lines. We have KSM people might want to interact. 0302216541. If you want to talk, call in and have a chat with KSM, you can do that quickly for just about 5 or so minutes. Then we can hand over to the sports team. Jesse, you were talking.
We probably may think that trade unions are not very strong.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But if you pick the nurses, they can rally and say the minimum salary is
Yeah.
X.
Exactly.
Doctors will say the minimum is
Yeah.
X. Now you pick Kuma Wood, a very vibrant wood
Industry.
whatever you call it.
But they are unions, though.
But I'm just saying that is there a price below which
the groups
actors shouldn't go?
Good
So,
point.
As an example,
Good
if
point.
I know that as an actor and I could do 5 movies and each movie might give me 5,000 Ghana cedis, as an example, that's 20K. I can plan. So for me, I feel that there needs to be a clear conversation that says that the level below which we shouldn't go is X.
Exactly.
It forces the production cost to go up.
Yeah.
It forces you to charge more.
Forces
and
you
it
to find the
forces
bigger investment.
It has to happen. So, those of you who are leading that charge,
But kakra yebedinti no, it won't happen.
Let me go to the phone lines and see who I have here. Hello?
Yes, George.
Yes, sir.
Hello, good evening, George.
Yes, good evening. Your name and where you're calling us from, please?
Stephen from Lancashire.
Stephen, talk to us. We're listening.
I think the last topic that you were discussing about money and all that, it's about financial literacy. We go to school to learn about other things, but we don't learn about money. And so, if you read books like Rich Dad Poor Dad series of books, it will educate you as to how to use your money and to expand your income bracket. Otherwise, one source of income will not be enough.
Yeah.
Touching on KSM. Hello.
Yes, he can hear you. KSM is listening to you. Go ahead.
When you say the things that you said this afternoon about the Bible, some people are quick to tell you that you are reading the Bible like a newspaper, and that you have to get some strange spirit for interpretation. What's your take on that?
He says, what's your take on that?
The spiritual.
Yeah.
It's very, very interesting that when it gets to a point where even the people who are talking about the Bible don't understand it and they can't explain it, they say, oh, we're spiritual. You have to go into a different realm to understand
it. That's
which
interesting.
I totally
That's
think
interesting.
is a big joke.
That's interesting. Okay, let me pick one more call, then we'll come back to the studio to end the conversation.
Hello.
Hello? Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
good
Hello.
evening.
Good evening. Your name and where you're calling us from, please.
I'm Nana Fosi.
Nana, talk to us.
Okay, so first off, I'll start by saying thank you to Daddy, KSM. I want him to know that he's not alone on his stance on this religion thing. Me, I'm a Christian, but I've grown to understand this religion on my own terms. I don't really subscribe to everything that is said in the Bible, and they'll always come for us, but I don't really care. So I have a question for him.
Go ahead.
What will you choose? I want him to choose between common sense and certificate, and whatever choice he will choose, and I want to ask why he will choose that, between common sense and certificate. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Common sense and certificate. Certificate and common sense.
So technically, common sense in school.
Exactly.
If you're in school.
Exactly.
No, he said certificate. He didn't say school.
Certificate.
Because some certificates could be gotten without going to school.
Which certificate is that?
That's what anybody wants.
Either you are a frog or a lion.
Okay.
You don't get me.
Shots fired.
You don't get me.
I should have come today.
Yes.
I believe in common sense, man.
Yes.
I just believe in the ability to think and reason critically.
Yeah.
And that's what's missing in Ghana. We don't have critical thinkers. That's why everything goes through.
Exactly.
But I believe in common sense. I believe in critical thinking.
Kesem, we're about to wrap it up. I mean, there's a young chap out there. I haven't even asked your opinion about the state of Ghanaian comedy so far. In fact, let's do that one quickly. When you look at the scene today, is it exactly how you envisaged it some 20 years ago?
Well, surprisingly, 20 years ago, it was just me and a few others maybe. But I just dominated the comedy for so long. But I am very, very happy to see now that we have a multiplicity of comedians. There are about at least, I don't know, a dozen or so. Some of them are doing extremely well. They have the talent and everything. So I think that we have progressed. We have moved from the time when it was all just KSM, maybe a few others, to a time where you can actually number them. So regarding that, I think there's been progress.
Great.
The only thing that I think that I will urge my people on is develop more original content.
Okay.
You know,
Did comedy make you a lot of money?
Yeah.
Then why did you still build a hotel? Are you guys aware KSM owns a hotel?
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't know, but now that I know.
Oh, what's it called? Something Cactus. Cactus Creek.
Tell us about it.
Up the mountains.
Up the mountains.
Yeah.
Cactus Creek is in a Bree.
Yeah.
And I
Hey,
call
Uncle
it the
Ken.
best kept secret in Ghana. And by the way, for fathers, you know.
Yeah, we all fathers.
You know, this Father's Day, Cactus Creek is doing something special for fathers.
Nice one.
Okay. Something, so please. Am I allowed to give a number?
Oh, please,
yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
055
Oma.
036
I'll call Uncle Ken for it.
5007.
Beautiful.
Again.
055
039
039
5007.
5007.
That's Cactus Creek.
055
039 5 James Bond. Don't worry.
039
5 James Bond.
5007.
5 James Bond.
Uncle Ken, I'm thinking that you're
James
you are
Bond.
digital. You would have
777.
5007.
007. James Bond.
James Bond.
You
yes.
can check them up on Instagram. You follow them. Yeah, Instagram.
And please join us on Father's Day. You know, and I won't solely take the credits. It's a venture between me and my wife put it together.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
George, there's a message from Obi Nati.
What's Obi Nati saying?
He says, kindly tell Uncle that this has been the problem. This has been the problem we're refusing to talk about. All the bodies are dead to leadership and vision. I think he was referring to Uncle Ken. Oh, yeah, Uncle Ken. Yeah, okay.
George.
Yes, sir.
Very quickly to KSM. I need to ask him where his lovely sister, Anima, is.
Anima is in the UK.
Yeah.
Now.
Did you know about Anima?
Yes, I know Anima.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know Anima.
She's in the UK?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
And there's a message here. I am with KSM on the profitability of the creatives. Even if the economy is booming, the creative sector in Ghana is not organized or structured enough for them to cash in. Even Sarkodie had to set up other businesses to make ends meet. And that one is coming in from Mr. Chiketa. Yes.
So we don't have the structures
Yeah.
at all.
Yeah.
You know, we don't have the structures that support the booming of a creative industry. He talked very well, and he's so right about the economy
Yeah.
to begin with.
Yeah.
But even if we have a strong, solid economy now, we still haven't put the structures in place now to
enable-
benefit from a strong economy to move the creative.
All hail the creative agency.
All hail the creative agency. They
Yeah.
have a lot of work to do.
That's
So KSM, I was
that's
speaking
loaded.
about that young boy out there who wants to grow up to be just like KSM. What would be your final words to him?
Oh, he can grow up to be
Or
more
her.
than me.
Yes. So what would be your final words to him or her?
My final words to him or her is, can I, for those who say I don't even believe in the Bible, can I give them one of my favorite quotations?
Please go ahead.
There's a quotation there that says, I think it's Ephesians 3:20.
That's right.
It says, unto him who can do exceedingly, abundantly, above everything that you can think of, George.
Word.
Not only one, exceedingly, abundantly, and above. You know, but the thing is, that's not what the scripture ends for. The scripture says, who can do exceedingly, abundantly, above everything you can think of, according to the power that works in you. According to the power that works in you. So to the young one who wants to be like Kesem, who wants to be better than me and everybody, you know, what is that power inside you that you're going to work with to become whatever you want to become?
Word.
You know, it's your diligence, it's your attitude, it's your perseverance. These three things. Once you have them and you don't let them go, trust me, you can be whatever you want.
Is there going to be another stand-up? It's not a stand-up. Is there going to be another theater show from KSM?
Yes, and by the way, now that you know, Cactus Creek, the hotel, is going to become my resident place now. I'm doing some I'm going to be doing some mind-boggling things, but you have to come to a brew. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you should invite
I've
us.
left the National Theatre for the younger ones.
Yes, yes.
DKBs and the Fosters and the.
Fortunately, a breeze not far, and the road.
A breeze not far.
The road is good. Jesse has a big car; can carry all of us.
Yes. But you're all invited. Father's Day, I'm expecting all of you.
We'll be there. We'll be there.
Okay,
gentlemen, we're going. Jesse,
call me.
Final thoughts. I mean, we finished our show.
So I think this is one of the best shows ever.
Yeah.
I'm sitting here as a panel member, but I'm also a listener, and I'm inspired by his life.
Yeah.
And I'm still focused on the creative arts agency. We're waiting for it.
We are.
That's a very loaded one.
Uncle Ken.
Yes, I've enjoyed this immensely, you know, and KSM has cleared a few things for me and for a lot of people out there.
True.
You know, so
true.
Kudos.
Sadiq.
I'm sure I'll meet him again in this new safer zone, Twitter. I'm sure there'll be a lot of conversations on the changes that he spoke about. But anyway, I mean, this has been a very good one. This has been a very good one.
All right, so
George, let me thank you. Let me thank you.
Yes.
Thank your producer when he called me. And he said, so we need you here. Exactly. I said, oh, really? Won't you let that old man go and rest?
No.
He said, no.
No.
They don't let me rest.
They won't let you rest. So thank you for inviting me, and I'm glad I had the chance to play a few things.
Who's your favorite Ghanaian musician, by the way?
My favorite Ghanaian musician?
Yeah.
Apart from Kujentri?
Oh, man. This, you know me, I'm old school.
Yeah.
My favorite one ever, all time, has been this. Is it a champion? Kwepopo. Is that
Nanajima.
My man. My first
that's your man.
George was in the video. George was in one of his videos.
Oh, you were?
One of his music videos.
To date, Kwepopo is still my all-time favorite, man.
Why do you like it?
Why? I don't know. The rhythm was a day. I'm not quite sure, but when I hear Famifu, Kwepopo, oh,
All right, so as the man KSM joined us right here on Showbiz A to Z, and he says this is the song that he loves the most.
It's Showbiz A to Z.
Show was produced by my man Philip Nye, and of course we had the one and only Anita making sure the production runs smoothly. The sports team is coming up next. UEFA Champions League Grand Finale. Man City is about to whip Chelsea. The microphone is off. You can't say anything. I'm going to be handing over to the man, Gary L. Smith. Gary, quickly. Who's winning tonight?
Don't.
Who's winning? Who's winning?
Don't.
Who is winning?
I have no idea.
Who is winning? But you guys have the best commentary team in Africa.
Really?
Is George Ado Jr. coming?
He's there.
He's there.
He's having his final rights.
He's having the final right. Then he'll come take over from me. Jesse, you want to say something?
Please don't beat me up.
Yes.
I really think that the Joy Sports team is the super in the morning show.
Exactly. I mean, they make the morning show
They
excellent.
make the morning
They make
show
it
super.
happen. It's a Kenya. My name is George Quaye. We're out.
Well, George Ado is here as well. He probably would want to say.
Oh, yes, the man himself.
The chaotic man.
The chaotic man. Yeah, that chaos